Community Matters.
Hello and welcome to Many Voices, One Community, stories that unite us across Long Island and beyond. I'm Gaitley Stevenson-Mathews. I'm so very honored to be your host, and it is a special treat for me today because today I am so very pleased to have Dr. James Lentini with me, who is the president of Molloy University. And I will say, Dr. Lentini, I have been working so hard to get you over here or up this direction. You are a very busy man. You have got so much going at Molloy University. And as you know, I think I reached out and shared with you, oh my gosh, must have been 8 months ago. I sent a letter to the editor about Molloy University. And I grew up in a little town in North Carolina, went to a small university for my undergrad in Kentucky. And so moving to Long Island in 2005, I had heard of Molloy. But quickly I became familiar with Molloy University. And how I got to know Molloy University was through the Holocaust Center and the nursing program who comes to this center to learn about the Holocaust. I also, I was looking at your literature, ethical, service-minded leaders.
Yes.
As I kept looking, that kept jumping out at me. And I must say, our mutual friend, Dr. Barbara Black, I saw earlier this morning, she helps as a volunteer at Nosh Delivers, which provides food for our community, for families who are in need. Your capstone program was part of that. Sure. And I will just say, it's almost as if, I thought politeness and thoughtfulness went out of style. Until you meet the Molloy University students, both active now and the alumni. So my introduction to Molloy University, I went to Berea College, which was a small liberal arts college founded by an abolitionist, John Fee, who was a minister back before the American Civil War. Their philosophy was based on God hath made of one blood all peoples of the earth, of course, based on scripture. But as much as that's changed over the years in that university, and it's grown, and certainly they've engaged technology, and they've stayed to their core values. Yeah. And I read a little bit of the history and the kind of background that Molloy University brings, not only to Long Island, but your impact across our nation is just giant. And I love the fact your background in creativity. I think sometimes people think when you enter academia or certainly in administration that you check your creativity at the door. But obviously from your leadership, nothing could be further from the case, and certainly has been major success for the university, and it starts at the top. So I am so honored to have you.
Thank you.
So the viewers know I've been trying to get Dr. Lentini on for, at least a couple of months, but thank you for joining us. If you don't mind, if you could kind of share right off the top, because as I said, I've gotten to know the university as I've lived here, but some of our viewers may not, and listeners may not be as familiar. So share a little bit about what Molloy University is, and also how you came to be president of the university.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you for the wonderful introduction and such great thoughts about and feelings about Molloy from your viewpoint. And I couldn't agree more, by the way, so thank you for that. So Molloy started out in 1955. We're celebrating our 70th year right now. It's very special, and we'll talk about how we're doing some of those celebrations if we get a minute.
Absolutely. I want us to talk about it.
Started by the Sisters of St. Dominic of Amityville. It's a South Shore town here, obviously on Long Island. And the sisters are still with us. It's a large congregation of sisters that have been there for a long time, that started Molloy. They, in 1955, basically donated the land to the college at the time. It was Molloy College, of course. At first, it was Molloy College for Women. And with the sisters got off, I think, to a great start. They, small. It was small, obviously, and I just had the pleasure, for example, of visiting with some alums. One of them, class of 1959 graduate, one of the first graduates. And
oh my gosh!
when you talk to someone like Beck, who's been there through the whole history of the place and seen how far it's come, it's so interesting. So. I can expand on the story, but obviously at one point in the 1970s, around 80, it became co-ed. Nursing became the predominant program for enrollment, but education's always been very important too. So Molloy's been very strong in graduating nurse leaders, nurses, educators, the superintendents. Business school now, and arts, School of Arts and Sciences also that has large biology programs, psychology, the arts. We'll talk about the arts a lot,
Sure.
which is my background. So we're 5,000 students plus. We're at right now our largest enrollment ever, which is not usual for the story that's higher ed's going through a lot of challenges right now. So
Right.
I'm proud of the work we're doing, but I will say it's a tough go out there for a lot of schools.
Well, I'll say, so again, hearkening back to my experience growing up, my grandmother went to a small Presbyterian college
Right.
in 1905, a girls' Presbyterian college. She had 4 daughters, all of whom went to the same college. And in the 50s, they folded. And they joined with 2 others, and then they founded another Presbyterian college down the road. And that university now has folded as of 2 years ago. So, in this day and age when people are stepping back from or stepping away from education that is grounded in faith,
Right.
you all had just had your largest class in the history of the university. Is that true?
Yeah.
I was just reading that. So when others are
Right.
not only dwindling,
Right.
you all are finding extreme growth. And having known some of the graduates and students, and I was so very honored to be at your golf outing event.
Right. Yep.
Highly successful.
Thanks for being there. Yes.
Certainly, I saw many familiar faces on your board and incredible people from all walks of life, all backgrounds.
Yes.
And the thing that I heard over and over and over was hospitality, openness. Come join us. Come get a good education. And do not let where you are financially be a stumbling block.
Right.
And that, to me, that touched, again, my undergrad was a school designed for students who normally would have to work to go to college, who could not afford otherwise. One of the few colleges where that is the case. But there are many different ways to get there, and one of those certainly has been that you all have been so remarkable in bringing in students from, I'm guessing, not just Long Island, but from many areas, and that you make it possible for them to get that education. If they want to go to Molloy, it strikes me that you all have done an incredible job of making sure they can have that happen. So I would say, what has been your success? How have you managed in this particular climate to turn things around and make it so successful here on Long Island?
Well, a lot goes into it. I'll say that. So I've been in higher ed over 35 years. I probably shouldn't count them all, but it's I started out. You asked how I got to be president, and I'll tell you why I think we are where we are with this remarkable growth in the environment we're in. So my whole career, I started as a music professor. I became full professor at a Research One University in Detroit. Classical guitarist and a composer. The composing part really it still is a part of my life, and it really talked about creativity. The kind of work that goes into something like composing, for example. People do ask me all the time, how does a musician, or why does a musician end up in administration or certainly the presidency? And
and if I can interrupt, not just any musician, an award-winning musician.
Well, thank you.
I mean, I was a little disappointed I didn't see you walk in with your guitar. Just saying.
If you'd have asked, maybe, but
but no, but to your credit, I think that kind of creativity makes a difference. So my apologies.
No, I think that's
if you would.
I think the kind of sort of thought that it takes sitting in a room by yourself, really thinking through problem solving, and that's what it is. You're writing a big orchestra piece. These are complicated things to do. It's telling a narrative from beginning to end. It's thinking about the complexities of sound and timbre and all these things that those kind of decisions that you have to make and choices, they transfer to other things, I would say. But I never really had a plan to become a university president. I loved being in music, making music, performing music, teaching. But one thing leads to another. I won't tell you the whole story, but one little thing happens. Somebody says, "Hey, would you be interested in being the associate chair of a department?" So, young professor, you're thinking, well, okay, that's a 12-month appointment, maybe. Support the family a little better with more
Right,
salary
sure,
or whatever.
yeah.
So anyway, it kind of led it down a path of later becoming a dean, then a provost and president. But at Molloy, so I'm proud right now. I will say though that every year is a new challenge right now. It really is very, very tough out there, as I've said already. But I think what we've done intentionally to try and make sure enrollment is strong, because we are very enrollment driven. By the way, I know you're the school you graduated from.
Okay.
It just came up in a conversation because of the endowment that school has. It's
An
quite
incredible
impressive.
endowment, yes.
They charge no tuition to students.
That is absolutely true.
I would love to get there. That's a longer.
Right. I'll put you in touch. I also serve on Glen Cove EOC, which is Economic Opportunity Coalition, and serving students from lower income families. And I'm often pitching it because, the power that comes when you have a young person with great possibilities, but limited financial resources, when you tap on that.
Amazing.
That to me is the most alive one can feel. Right. When you see the expanse of opportunity and knowledge. And again, the fact that you all at Molloy are very much in that business.
Well, we are. Now, mostly our students, they come from a variety of backgrounds. We're a Catholic school in the Dominican tradition, but as you said, and I'm glad you pointed this out, we have Jewish students, we have a Muslim student club. We're very open to, our Hispanic population is the largest growing population on Long Island, and that's reflected at Molloy. I do think it's because of the values, though, respect for all people. The kind of things that are in Catholic social teaching about taking care of people who need care, those kind of things.
Right.
That crosses over all faiths, all values, and I think that our students, they sort of self-select, in my opinion. The ones who are there, I say this all the time, I've never seen a more, I would say, happy group of students overall. I meet with them a lot. I try to make sure they're doing okay. We just won an award. I found out about yesterday for the work that we do with mental health, which is such a big topic right now about students and all of society, but certainly students. So it is the kind of place that is pretty rare, I think.
Right.
You walk onto Molloy's campus, students are friendly, the people help each other. There's a bit of a cliche. I'm not sure I should keep using it. We got to find a new one, but people open doors for each other. That kind of approach to things.
No.
I mean, it's.
Well, I will say at Nosh Delivers, when your capstone students were there, there was an energy that they brought with them, and an appreciation from everybody was there, and it's not just what people bring to it, but it's the appreciation for what people bring to it. The fact that someone says, I may be, again, I'm thinking about Dr. Black.
Right.
Barbara
she's
is
wonderful,
she's a heavy hitter. Her background is in finance. She is top of the line.
Yeah.
But God bless. She rolls up her sleeves. She's in there. Everybody is making sure you get 2 apples and 1 loaf of bread and 1 of these, and make sure you get 3 proteins, because we need to make sure that these, the people who are being impacted so strongly by our economy right now are going to have less worry. Less worry.
Right. Yeah.
And the fact that one, in your leadership, you bring the creativity, you bring that, but you hold on to the core values that are the foundation of your university. I just think that's giant, because I think sometimes people think you just throw everything out. You know, you just oh my gosh, you know, what we need to do here is throw everything out. But if you have the foresight to look at the good, and I've been so very fortunate. I've had rabbis on, I've had priests on, I've had many people from so many different backgrounds, and as you know, the show is Many Voices, One Community. And I always, look for the good.
It's great.
And look for the common thread. And again, whatever one's religious background, generally, if you see the good in it, you can support that. And that can make all the difference in the world. And I will tell you, here at the Holocaust Center, we are so appreciative of your students who come through the door here. And I will say, when many times I've been in that room when a docent will say, as nurses, you take oaths, as Hippocratic oaths to say, we will sustain life.
Right.
And during the Nazi regime, when that happened, they were trained to take life.
Yeah.
They took oaths to Hitler. And instead of learning how to save lives and build on lives, they were taught to find a disability so we could take that life away. And when you see that register in those young nurses' minds, I think, yes, they could have read that in a textbook. But to hear it as they stand in that room and see the documentation of it, that is the kind of thing that I feel is something you bring with you for your lifetime. My mother was a nurse, so I feel especially connected to that.
Yes.
But that makes such a difference, and we appreciate that in a giant way. I know that has been a relationship that's existed for a very long time. I did want to make sure, because this goes by so quickly, Tuesday, the 25th. So share a bit about that.
So our 70th anniversary this year, and my own background in the arts, what we're going to do fits. We are doing a performance. We are presenting a performance at Carnegie Hall. So,
and this is the Carnegie Hall that's in New York City,
that is
right?
The Carnegie Hall in New York City. Yes. So to a musician like me, it's sort of the epitome of any performance space in the world. And what we're doing is we've had a show that we do at our Madison Theater on campus with a gentleman who has a Sirius XM show. His name is Seth Rudetsky. A lot of people, anybody who knows musical theater knows
Seth.
Seth.
I know of Seth. I don't know him personally, but certainly, yes.
He's done a show for us where he brings in the top, Tony-winning Broadway stars to sing numbers. It's very entertaining. Seth's a wonderful pianist himself, so he will be accompanying, and there will be an array of Tony-winning Broadway stars. But here's the thing for us. One of the things some people may not know about Molloy, and I want to make sure that they do know about this, is yes, we're known for nursing. We have these great other programs in education and arts and sciences and business, but we have this top-notch, world-class musical theater program. It's called CAP 21. The name comes from an independent group that was named CAP 21 in the city. They eventually went to NYU. Now they're at Molloy. They are on our campus, but we also have a teaching site in Lower Manhattan where they go and study in the city. We get these students from around the country. You mentioned our enrollment, where we get students from. In this program, we get them from everywhere. We get them from California and New Mexico and everywhere. Milan, Italy this year too. We've got so and these students are just doing so well. One of them right now just got a leading role. A 24 grad just got a leading role in Book of Mormon.
Terrific.
One of our other, Nichelle Lewis, who's a 21 grad, was Dorothy in The Wiz on Broadway last year. She's now in Ragtime on Broadway. We have another student who's a swing in Mamma Mia. These are the kind of students we're graduating.
Right.
So tying it together, yes, there would be Broadway stars on Tuesday, but our own Molloy musical theater students will get on stage. They'll be part of some of the numbers going on. So it's whether or not you know Molloy, this is going to be a great show because you're going to see Seth Rudetsky and these Broadway stars, and you're going to see some young talent on stage as well. So we're pretty excited about this. 7 p.m. Tuesday, November the 25th, Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
And I assume tickets are still available.
They are.
And Bernie, let's try to get this one out early.
Please. Yeah, that would be great. Yes, tickets are reasonable as well,
Right.
sold very well, so it's a great house already.
And where do they go to find those tickets, just if somebody's watching this?
Yeah, so just go to the Molloy website. It's right front and center, and you'll be able to click some links to get right to the site to buy tickets. Or the Carnegie Hall's website itself. Just look up the Seth Rudetsky Show.
Okay.
And it will pop right up.
And what I know, because I saw, so my master's degree is in theater.
Yes.
And
I
at
forgot.
Southern
I didn't know
Methodist
that, yeah.
University. So that
Yeah.
was, and I ran a
that's
theater
a-
company
oh.
in Dallas for many years. But I remember when your program came into existence.
Okay.
And oh my gosh, you guys, like, right out of the bat, were just up and running. And it was like you weren't there, and then wham.
Yeah.
I mean, in a major way. And what I've also noticed and seen is not only top-notch training, but also the fact that they get showcased.
Yes.
So they have an opportunity to be seen. Because at the end of the day, I don't care how magnificent you are or what your training is, if you don't get seen by those casting directors, and you don't oftentimes. So the fact that it not only comes with the kind of training that they're going to get, but the fact that you all have been in the game long enough that it comes with a reputation. And that makes such a big difference. And you gotta get the job, and you gotta deliver, but you also have to have that opportunity. And the fact that Molloy is able to do that as well is just giant. We are having to wrap this up.
Okay.
There's one thing I wanted
sure.
to mention that it's down the road, but this is with the Long Island Concert Orchestra. It is also with the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center. It is with the Jerusalem Academy of Music and Dance, which I had a wonderful opportunity to actually visit the Jerusalem Academy of Music and Dance just a month ago. Wonderful. It is going to be a fundraiser for Molloy. It's going to be a fundraiser for the Holocaust Center, also for the Jerusalem Academy of Music and Dance, and going to be just an incredible show. And that's going to be March 12th, 2026. We're still in the formative stages, but I will tell you, again, thinking of that common thread and the importance of coming together, and how the arts and music can be a part of bringing that. So stay tuned for that. And
that's on our campus.
That's on your guest.
Our
And oh my
Madison
gosh,
Theater.
like you, I know we're getting you over here for the first time, and we will give you a tour. If we don't get it today, we will make sure that happens. But oh my goodness, when you walk into that auditorium, or that theater, not an auditorium, an auditorium's in a high school, that theater is just magical. And,
it's a great theater. We do such great performances there. So thank you.
But Dr. Lentini, it's been really such a great pleasure, and thank you. And I'm so sorry I can't go Tuesday night, but let me know how it goes, and I'll talk to Bobby.
Yes.
Bobby Meyer, who is kind of our contact there, and thank you so very much.
Thanks so much for having me and for talking
pleasure.
today. Appreciate it.
And so that's it. You've been watching Many Voices, One Community. Please make sure you go to HMTV. At HMTC, look for it on the website, and thank you so very much, and have a great week. Thank you.